ask everyone if they could briefly, talk to us through our delegation and showcase the priorities for this, 89th Texas Legislative Session. And I'll start with Glenn, and we can use both microphones. Oh, perfect. Muchas gracias. What is TAP standing for briefly as we move forward, and what is the expectation for this session for business community?
Well, because we have about a $23 billion budget surplus and the state is growing, by dawn to dusk, we will have added on net 1,100 people to the state of Texas. This is going to be a big infrastructure session. That means water, that means broadband, that means energy, that means roads, that means ports. So we're going to put a major push into those issues. We also have an R&D tax credit that needs to be extended. That's super important when you think in the world of AI and all of these advanced jobs that we need. We need to make sure that that's extended, and we'll continue to work to reduce business property taxes for businesses as well. And final thing is on the education front, HB8, which was the community college effort that I give a lot of credit to our friend Woody Hunt in El Paso, kicked off, and that's adding $250 million, $650 million in exchange for our 50 community college systems providing credentials of value. That's been spectacularly successful, including in South Texas, so that's a big deal. And Esmy, just thank you for all of your efforts. You've been a great leader in rallying chambers across the state of Texas for a unified agenda.
Thank you. Thank you, Glenn. Bienvenido.
Can I share out what we came here?
Of course, Commissioner.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. On behalf of the city of Brownsville, what we came here to advocate for the 89th legislator and just talking to our representatives and to any other representatives that were allowing us to meet with them. We also got to meet some reps that were like, we want to meet with you guys because I was born in Brownsville. How many step reps, senators have a family member in Brownsville that were born in Brownsville? So that was also a very neat part. But the first thing that we came to advocate for was our desal plan. And so we have a BPUB here as well. If you can please stand up so we can recognize you all, please.
Yes. Bienvenidas. Thank you so much for being here.
Traveling to DC, advocating, and as well as we come here to this Capitol in Austin, there is a lot of talk about water drought. Evidently, water is extremely important. It's one of the first things that we do in the morning, right? Wash our face, brush our teeth. At least I hope so. If not, we need to get that on schedule, okay? But all joking aside, it is very important that we prepare. Preparation is always key. And BPUB Brownsville has actually been a talk in the RGV and an exemplar. Everyone talks about how we need to be more like BPUB and what they're doing. And so our desal plan, we're trying to go after that. We're supporting them 100% because it is heavily needed. So we came to just have that on the radar, to ask for the funding of it. Number two, we are a growing city. In the last year, we've had about approval of 3,000 permits, small businesses and residential homes, apartments, duplexes, you name it, we're getting it in an abundance. 3,000, that is so much. And so nonetheless, with growth also comes growing pains. And so definitely number one is our traffic synchronization. Light traffic synchronization is so important to ensure that the commute, we're getting there faster, getting to work on time. But nonetheless, in the RGV, we are 10% connected, and we're the least city that has the least in synchronization for it. And so we came to advocate that for funding. Number two, roads. Roads are extremely important from a safety perspective. Currently, right now, we have international being done by TxDOT. It is blocking a lot of our small businesses and entry into them. So a lot of them have declined in reference to their profiting. I've even seen a business close down because of it as well. So we came to push forth on that. Two, State Highway 4. We have so many, as mentioned, 2,500 employees going in and out from SpaceX, as well as tourism. It's full of potholes. We've seen some as well crashes. And so we came to advocate that as well. So we need more lights organization, our desal plan, as well as roads. So we came here to ask for funding. Very important, and it's always a topic conversation. And so we hear our constituents, we're hearing the community. We need to get things done. I feel like, I always tell people, sometimes I feel in the things that we've done, we've been very successful in moving forward. As you can see the city, you've seen construction up and down, whether it's a road, whether it's adding a sidewalk, whether it's a residential, whether it's a building, whether it's businesses. I mean, in this past year, we've had Main Event come in. Main Event has been so successful in these last couple of years. They're number 3 in the nation. We've seen Perry's restaurant. I mean, you're just seeing so many people come in and out. Our hotels, our rate actually has also increased because people are starting to come in and saying, okay, how can we also invest into this growing economy that is occurring right now? And so it's amazing to be a part of this. It's amazing to advocate. It's amazing to ensure that the people who believed in us to be in this seat, they're being heard, and they're being heard to the right individuals.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Ditto to what Commissioner Macias just mentioned.
Anything else? I'm sorry. I think I know Glenn very well now, and I know he has to say something.
I want to piggyback. You think about the space industry. It's one of the fastest growing industries out there. It's about $600 billion now. McKinsey is predicting it'll go to $1.8 trillion over the next 10 years or so. And you're the epicenter of the whole thing in Brownsville, the gateway to Mars. So we have an interest on the state level to make sure that we support the infrastructure needs necessary so that SpaceX could continue to flourish. 85% of the stuff that goes up in space is connected to SpaceX. So your needs in Brownsville need to be put on our agenda, and you couldn't have a better champion than Esmy Villarreal to carry the message so that the first launch to Mars, the gateway to Mars, is from Brownsville.
And as being a Chamber of Commerce with all these entrepreneurs, I wonder when our first taqueria will be on Mars.
Oh, yes. I can't wait.
I'd just like to also make an invitation afterwards, either Pauline, Jonathan, or myself, if you're interested in finding out more about the MOC or getting on our newsletter list, I'd be more than happy to tell you. There's so many things we can talk about. There's so many things we didn't go in today that we're working on because it just didn't kind of fit. But I think you'd be interested in some of the advocacy and some of the things that we're doing out there.
Thank you, everyone. And as we wrap things up for our delegation as Brownsville Chamber of Commerce, we've been working on this program for over a year now, and we've surveyed our membership, our business community. And as we speak about priorities, we came to our capital. When we first started this conversation, we had like 20, 30 different things. And learning and collaborating with the MAC, also learning about what staffers want to hear, our elected officials, working with others, with TAP, they have great resources. We were able to put together priorities that were direct and they were straight for the ask. And we actually came together as a delegation with 4 different asks. And it mirrors, exactly what our commissioner was stating. As an organization, we have the ability of having the delegation going and meeting with elected representatives. And while they were here, we had the ability of actually getting everyone together with our state Senator Adam Hinojosa, with our state Representative Erin Elizabeth Gomez, with the office Chief of Staff for State Representative Oscar Longoria, as well for State Representative Jamie Lopez. And we came together as a unified voice, and we spoke about infrastructure, energy, connectivity, as well as economic and community development, healthcare, and water supply. Those were the 4 different things that we were here together in Austin talking about when we were visiting yesterday on ground. So I do want to take a moment to thank everyone, thank all of our speakers. We really appreciate you guys being here.